我要离开长春里。妹妹要往……
阿娟这是何？
阿娟欲跟随华前辈学医，
使不得。愿有幸亦何其辛劳。阿娟只在乡里间。夫君也快劝。
阿娟为何突作此想？
阿娟平日最亲小叔，
云兄先出。
阿娟，阿娟。
云兄莫问。阿娟自小随姐姐来到此处，未见过比云兄更为出色之人。云兄外，阿娟曾一直以为云兄理所应当是阿娟的，似云落子子那般奇特女子，又会有多少？我生阿娟若是永远只在这一方乡里做一村妇，如何能再与云兄这般英雄少年匹配？云兄闯荡天下，阿娟很害怕。云兄去救
阿娟。
阿娟已不是小童，既有主见。子龙那臭小子，长兄。
今日之言不许。
赵云，你给我速速进来。
子嗣与子父已经答应阿娟。
阿娟，哎，阿娟，你要去哪儿？阿若，来。贼丑！
想杀，此等世道啊！
我已经聪明。
赤地
剑之力，不在于剑，而在于。
Hello, everyone. Hello.
此。
人心之迷，难以回头。
How you guys doing tonight? You're chilling. Just gonna relax.
阿娟不知去了何处，许是去了张敖家。
Yeah, I kind of don't want to play this hardcore because it's like super buggy. I've heard people getting soft locked and their saves getting corrupted and stuff, and I've been enjoying actually reading most of the story, but you can't skip the cutscenes. So if this game gives out on me, I gotta watch all that shit again. So I'm kind of just playing casually. There's also no end game either. They're talking about adding like a post game mode. So, once you beat this game, that's it, pretty much. So, I'm in no rush. I'll just play at my own leisure. It doesn't help that it runs like shit on the Steam Deck, so when I'm over at my neighbor's house, I can't play it. Cloud saves got disabled. It runs really bad. Like, I'm really only going to be able to play this at home, and generally, those are the kinds of games I don't get through as quick, because I'm over there like 4 or 5 hours a day. So that sucks. They said maybe they'll optimize it for Steam Deck in the future, but they've got so many bugs to fix now. I don't expect it to happen anytime soon. Highly unlikely. Yeah, this game is mad buggy.
阿若之墓，香脂鱼剑上仙，40方才。
I would play more Prince of Persia, but I just don't really have much left to do in that game, as I don't care about trophies. And also, there's no New Game Plus, so... I've seen some of the stuff they make you do. They make you do in that game for like a skin, for like some pants.
冤贼治下无方，祸害百姓，又令子佩欺世。
是，先生。
先生，
兰蒂，
实不相瞒，我受。
兰蒂是要离去。
是的。前些日子，我收到族书来信，信中说，曹孟德与
唉，汝与子龙，若如二人齐心合力，互补不足，曹孟德此人，我也略有所闻。
弟子不孝。
唉，去吧。你二人
是。子佩，定要去投曹孟德吗？前者曹孟德，天下诸侯众多。
兄长，再者，弟于族书处听闻曹孟德此前事，后动着火烧洛阳，劫持天子。
我就有闻。 他误杀好人，并奉言宁叫我负天下人，休叫天下人负我。
兄长，人非圣贤，孰能无过？如今各地诸侯或昏聩无能，或割据一方。前者这阿娟，这便送到这里吧。兄长，只是弟亦有自己擅长之术。
This guy had a wife for like 20 minutes.
唉。 兰蒂已离席。
He speed ran marriage, and then she speed ran dying. She did a any percent speed run, death speed run. The guy's all messed up mentally now because his wife died like instantly, like frame 1. But now the chick that likes Zhao Yun is bailing too. I think they're setting up Yunlu to be his wife. It's just something Dynasty Warriors has never really touched on.
子佩执意离去。
我此前曾受二徒，而如二人所走之路又有分别，能记
先生，
老夫也提枪来战。龙现爪。 状。能现找。百鸟朝凤。现状。
这便是恩师真正的。
不要分心。
这是以我种种纠结不明之处，仿佛境界开了。
Look, Mom, it's historically accurate. I'm learning. I'm learning. Zhao Yun fought a big giant dragon and did a bunch of dash cancels. This is just as historically accurate as Dynasty Warriors. Learning. It's educational.
恩师，
如这娃儿，就
李正寻我。
Not in a hurry to get your save file deleted? Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Oh, I got a new sword move. Nice. See, do I have a good sword right now? It might help with kind of being stuck waiting for cooldowns to come back. It's a level 20. How do I make it? Says I got all the stuff, don't I? What gives? I don't get it. It's not letting me make it. Oh, maybe I need to, yeah, I need to go back to town. Alright. This is better than Diablo 4. Simply holding B while using the sword. I'll take your word for it. What is this? What is it? It's not doing anything. Oh, okay. Is this like a counter or something? Oh, it's like a charge slash. Huh. Okay, so what I'm curious about is... if I use all the cooldowns, maybe the other ones come back. Oh yeah, they do. Oh, that's gonna be nice. Won't have to stay on the spear so much. Hey, you're more than welcome to backseat me. I don't care. I kind of didn't want to be backseated on Prince of Persia just because the boss fights are really good, but that was like the last game I played blind. That game just needs replay value. That's all it needs. It's very devoid of replay value. They tried to give you like extra stuff to unlock, but it's like really frustrating puzzles and stuff, and you can't carry it over. I'm no stranger to doing annoying stuff in games.
见过礼。
You know, if I can carry it over, but if I can't carry it over, I don't
帐下
care.
士兵前来招兵，听闻正是与幽州公孙兵，兼至黑山在，
不知
幽州刘虞与公孙瓒闻名遐迩，子龙勇武，当为
云素闻刘伯安与公孙将军美名。
是，去吧。
Has a vacuum effect against peons. Really? Yeah, the combat in this game is legit. It's like way better than I thought it would be. Combat in this is better, definitely better than Diablo 4, and I'm not memeing either. The combat in that game, in this game, is legit. Feels like they actually cared. It's not like being better than Diablo 4 is like this huge deal, but still. It's not exactly a high bar, but it is a legit good action RPG. It's just eventually it's gonna stop having, you know, content, but they'll probably add an endgame mode. They're already talking about it in their Discord. They basically spoiled it, like nothing happens. You know, the game just kind of ends. Well, it kind of sucks because the combat in this is good enough. You want more? try that out on some guys. Let's get through this talking.
子龙
弟方才从李正处
啊，若说是否愿意，若是不从，
战场之上刀。
弟过去以为，习武不过为护卫，然淳于琼恶行在前。
也罢，大兄就知你会这般说。
弟，定不负大兄期许。
阿娟她欲随元化先生行医，早。
情字难医，思病难解，你这女娃又何苦勉强？
阿娟若就此回头，先生不必多言。
但愿你莫后悔。
什么？
哎，好好的媳妇儿，
大兄说
多说无益。
老丈，
老儿要我传话，不必。
心愿已了，当归。
Oh, got the new drip. Got the new drip.
今在此枪前立誓。
Alright, so that's gotta be better than what he's got on now. That's a level 30. Alright, well nice. I'll try to get a good sword. Yeah, I hope they expand upon this and add like end-game stuff, because the combat is actually legit good. It's a little janky, but considering you actually have to dodge attacks and there's parries, and you don't just face tank everything, I think it's already better than a lot of the competition. It's just doesn't have the mapping and the grinding at all. I'm surprised this game has no side quests. It's just straight linearity. It's got a lot of content, but there's like barely any padding. Normally in these games you gotta go waste time collecting 10 wolf pelts and stuff like that. They don't make you do that in this game at all. It's pretty smooth. I don't know how much that holds up on hard mode. Maybe on hard you might have to go back to old areas and grind, but so far I've only done a little bit of that just to try stuff out. Diablo 4 will probably be good eventually, but it just launched in a horrible state. They like to release games half-finished and broken now. Half-finished and broken and buggy and missing stuff that the old one had. They like to do that a lot. Apparently Mortal Kombat is like taking a massive hit in player base viewership already. It's only been out for like 4 months.
尔等背弃盟约，
not
誓
surprising.
死无地，还敢言无怨吗？如今
I like how Mortal Kombat
代
1
天讨之。
has like no single player content at all besides the story. And Street Fighter 6 is way better than that, which is why that game was so successful with casuals. I'm like, how do you not have a beat 'em up mode? Why can't you just make Shaolin Monks 2 in like Mortal Kombat 1? Because I would buy that game just for that. I would not play the actual game.
无有何罪？
But they don't want to do that. Their single player content has just been getting worse. I'm like, well, those games die so
邪魅
quick
何
and it
尽，
still
不
doesn't
能
have
取
crossplay.
之，招致
So
董贼。
I can't imagine people that are on like PC or
董贼暴
Switch
行
have，
而却气
a whole
节
lot to
蹦
do in
窜，
that
背
game
上
right
不
now.
忠，此罪二也。说则出口。
That's what happens when the
能
game
得
is on
如
like
此
5
辱我。
platforms and there's no crossplay. And there's no single player content either. So unless you have like online homies to play it with or
便为冀州
a
取一
local
大
scene,
害，贼
it's
军
kind
如
of
此轻慢，
not worth it.
严刚，
末将主公且安心观战。
撤退！
切，敌军皆为绝章。
严将军，
主公放心，看我
结阵齐队，随我令，齐宝，放箭！
不好，中埋伏了，快撤回来！
Come on, let me play!
拿命来！
Kinda wish I could skip the cutscenes. I wanna try the new sword.
敌将受手，敌将。
Come on, skip. Getting a little tired of how many cutscenes. I need some gameplay.
不好，严刚已死，速速撤退！
此必是公孙瓒军战败，我当速就之。
Can I play now? Wah! No, don't give me any more cutscenes. Let me play. Interruptions. Let me play.
吾乃大将文丑也。
I keep hearing that, and the game is a week away. I keep hearing that. I saw that leaked screenshot months ago. I'm like, is that actually true or not? Didn't they, like, show some more stuff for that game today? Because if it has that, I will buy that game just for that. But I've been, like, looking at a little bit of the stuff, and they just don't seem to talk about it. I'm like, why is it being kept secret when it's for casuals? It doesn't have anything to do with the competitive scene. But that game is, like, 6 days away. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what to believe. Is that happening or not? What's with the marketing for that game? You think that you would want to, talk about that sooner than later, because it's part of why Street Fighter 6 was so successful. The Japanese fighting game with actual single-player content. But they're just like not talking about it at all. It's weird. Please don't interrupt me! Can I keep playing?
我乃常不想公孙瓒麾下竟有如此猛将。
Yeah, let me play. No more cutscenes. Give me a big battlefield.
多谢少年壮士相助。我乃常山真定人士，姓赵，名允。好，子龙谨遵将军之。
Are you serious? They're doing that shit? Really? Why aren't games like finished at launch anymore? They call it post-launch content. I'm like, that's what it should come out with, like, at the start. I'm getting tired of that. If it's coming out post-launch, I really don't care. Why can't you actually finish the game at launch? Stop rushing the developers so your fiscal year looks better. Let them fucking finish. It's like all these games are like half done now. It drives me nuts. Getting tired of it. That's the only reason I want to play that game at all, is that. And apparently it doesn't have it. Either that or they're trying to keep it secret for some reason, which I don't know why you would do that. $40 for it. I don't know, if it's a good Musou game, I'll check it out. But if they don't have it at launch, I'm already not interested. Tekken 6 had the beat-em-up mode at launch. You didn't have to wait for it. Now they make you wait for everything. Okay, this doesn't do anything. Alright, is this gonna do anything or what? Nice. I might just wait on this game. This stuff doesn't work. I put the stuff in there and it doesn't do anything. Okay, just make something. Why give this to me if I can't use it? This game is another example. It's all buggy at launch. Nothing ever works at launch anymore. You used to be able to buy a game and it just fucking worked. And it was complete day one. Now you're stuck waiting for patches. It's getting old. Can't make a game just work at launch, or it doesn't have... It doesn't have, like, basic functionality. They make you wait. Like, why? Why can't you just let the people making the game actually finish it? Like, just let them finish the game. Is that so much to ask? Like, no. You can't let them finish the game. That's blasphemy. You can't do that. It's got to be half broken, half finished and broken, and at least in this game's defense, it is like made by a small team, and it's only like $15. You can forgive stuff like this because it's a small team. It's not like this big production. It's not like this $100 million masterpiece. It's just like, you know, made by a couple people. You can forgive that. It's when it's the big games that do it. Because the thing about games like this is... The thing about games like this is, I mean, this goes for pretty much anything, but especially for a small team. If this game only sold like 500 copies, they're getting more QA than like the entire time they're working on it, right? I think they've said the QA testing, like for like Resident Evil 4 Remake, they got like more QA testing in the first hour than the entire time that they were working on it. And obviously that's a much bigger game, but with games like this, you can always wonder like how did they not find this stuff? It's because they only had a couple people on it. This game has actually been like a moderate success. It seems like it's actually sold a good amount of copies. I think a lot of that is because it's It's a game for, you know, their domestic fans in China. And then also, it's priced fairly. This game does not look like a 2024 game. I think the gameplay is good, and the story is actually decent. But they were smart enough to not make it like $50. Because that's the problem with Prince of Persia. That's what I was playing earlier this week. They want $50 for that game, and I think it's $50 quality. The problem is the asking price combined with the time that they decided to release it. Because there's Yakuza, there's Persona, there's Grand Blue Relink, there's Tekken, and like, a lot of people are actually interested in like more than one of those games, ironically. There's people that want Tekken and Yakuza, there's people that want Relink and Persona. It's just like, we're not made of money. And I think Prince of Persia is really going to hurt because of that. I think they were fair to price the game at $50, but at the same time, it's buggy, and it just doesn't have any replay value. They tell you when you beat the game you can go back and unlock stuff, but it's like, well, you can't carry it over. And that game has like Kaizo level platforming, and all you get for it is like a gold coin or a skin, and you can't carry it over. So it's like, do I really want to make myself frustrated and give myself an ulcer for something in a Metroidvania when I can't carry it over? It's a weird oversight with that game, because it actually does have better loot than most Metroidvanias. Like, there's actual game-changing builds and stuff that you can make. You can get, like, new moves and everything, but you can't carry it over. So, unless you meticulously explore, by the time you find all that stuff, there's no challenge left. And the fact that they're charging $50 for it, I think, makes it an even harder sell. Because $50 for that it's steep. I think it's worth the money. I got my money's worth out of it, and I think that it will probably have good mods in the future. People will probably make like a randomizer, like Modsport or something, and hopefully it'll get some official post-launch content. But $50 for that in this month is just stupid. I think that game is going to get buried. It'll probably end up with some awards by the end of the year, but I think a lot of people are going to skip it because it's the same price as other games that you can get a lot more value out of your money. You know, Tekken, if you play online, you can get hundreds of hours out of that. Infinite Wealth is going to be probably about 100 hours to finish that game, finish everything. Grand Blue Relink looks pretty meaty as well. So, I don't think many people are going to choose Prince of Persia, and it just makes you wonder, why would they release that game when they are? It's a good game, but it's overpriced considering its lack of material replay value. They really tried to put, like, less pointless stuff into it, but the problem is you can't carry any of it over. So, the combat kind of just falls apart. It's a shame. I feel like they should not have released it this month. They should have waited until, like, March. March is when things let up a little bit, and more people would be willing to drop $50 on something like that, but I don't hear that many people talking about it. This definitely was a great game. I really enjoyed it. It had a lot of really nice things, like the accessibility features were nice. If you got stuck, it would just give you hints, tell you where to go. It would tell you when things would unlock, and then you could also put stuff on the map to, like, give yourself a screenshot if you want to go back, which was really cool. There were a lot of really nice features in that game, but somehow nobody on the team said, hey, isn't it kind of pointless to make, like, 2-minute auto-scrollers where if you touch the spikes once, you got to do the whole thing again? The only thing you get for that is a skin, and at that point, you don't have any game left. like why make something like that? Because generally people will do frustrating shit like that in video games if there's a new game plus. A good example is Tales games, Souls games, stuff like that. They'll do the most menial, frustrating shit if the game's like, hey, you only have to do this once. If you want to keep playing, carry it over. and then you can just say, just fuck all that in the second playthrough. But then with Prince of Persia, nobody brought that up, or it wasn't approved. So you have this weird thing where it's like, it has more interesting stuff to collect than most Metroidvanias. Normally you just get like more ammo and stuff, and there's like never a need for that much ammo. Metroid is the originator of that. You don't need 255 missiles. The speed runs for like most Metroid games, they only get like a couple dozen tops. And that's enough to beat the game in like under 2 hours. So why do you need the other 200? There is no point. Other than the challenge of getting all of them in a quick, a small period of time, there's no point. And I feel like they did kind of address that to a degree, but then they also made it worse, because they put in a lot of collectible items, which are just lore items, but I think they count for 100%. And they should have just done it like Metroid Prime. It's like, hey, if you wanna read all this crap, you can, but it doesn't affect your completion in any way. Yeah, going back to this game, I think that they did a very good job of pricing it properly. I feel like it's still sending it out to die this month, but at the same time, it's cheap enough, and you get enough content for the price. I think that's partially why it's doing well, because it's like 4 times cheaper than all the big games coming out. So people like me that don't have a lot of money, you know, I'd rather play this. Although this game, admittedly, kind of does have AAA-itis with stuff not working properly. I heard that the Forge is supposed to work later, so I might just wait on this for now. Let's play something else. Rise of the Ronin doesn't look that interesting to me. Rise of the Ronin has shit marketing, because they've shown... The game is out in like a month and a half, and they've shown like 10 seconds of gameplay, which is giving me Tales of Arise vibes. That's what they did with Tales of Arise. Do you remember when that game was announced? It took like a year for gameplay, and then the trailer was almost entirely story-based, and they showed Alfred doing raining slash, so like 2 seconds of gameplay. And then, of course, the game came out and the gameplay sucked. So, I'm very apprehensive towards that game. Plus, it feels like they're trying to make it open world. And we all know Team Ninja sucks at level design. So, I don't really have a lot of faith that they can deliver. It seems like they're trying to go for the normie crowd instead of hardcore action gamers. But, you know they don't have the money and dev cycle and resources to deliver that. But yeah, I'm getting Tales of Arise vibes from that game. We're just not going to show any gameplay until it's almost out. And normally with action games, it's like most of the gameplay that we get sucks because they don't have people that know how to play. But there's no gameplay at all. They don't even have any game journals playing it. That's a bad sign. I kind of expect, like, some gameplay by now. For a game that's 2 months away. A game that's 2 months away should have, like, way more gameplay. Whether it's high-quality gameplay or not is beyond the point. There should be gameplay by now. I don't have the disposable income to be pre-ordering shit that's got no gameplay. Now, I do have high standards for marketing for gameplay because I play a lot of hardcore games. I need to see somebody halfway decent before I'll buy it, but that game barely scratches the surface of what's acceptable. It's 2 months away and there's been like 30 seconds of gameplay. That's a really hard sell. Yeah, I'm getting tired of how they market video games. They do everything but show you the fucking game. I'm getting really sick of it. It's getting old. Like, you're advertising a video game to me, right? You're not advertising, You're not advertising a movie, right? Because the way that they market shit now, it feels like it's supposed to be a movie first and a video game second. And I'm getting really sick of it. I don't know, my dick gets really flaccid when they, My dick gets really flaccid when they show no gameplay. They just show, like, a CG trailer. And it's like, alright, you stupid gamers. Go buy our $300 collector's edition. I'm like, no. Show the fucking game first. None of this CG trailer shit. Get out of here with that. Alright, you dumb gamers. You don't know any better. Give us your money. Give us your hard-earned money, even though we haven't really shown you that we even have a video game to sell at all. We've only shown you, a CG movie trailer. No, doesn't work on me. You know what made me stop falling for that shit? DMC 2. DMC 2, I was like 16 when that game got announced. And, they showed Dante jumping off the building, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And even back then, they were doing the same trends they do now, where they hide gameplay until the last minute. And I fell for it that time. I haven't fallen for it since, so I'm thankful for DMC 2 for teaching me. Thankful for DMC 2 teaching me to not fall for that shit. Like, nope, you show me the actual game, and then maybe I'll cough up money for it. If you don't show me the game, I don't care. Period. Nowadays, they'll do anything but show you gameplay. It's like they're so, they're so enamored with showing you anything but the actual game. You know what really pissed me off about 9 Empires? I don't know if you guys remember this, but the first gameplay they showed for that was Sunsei with the tonfas. With the, without the tonfas. They showed him with that pizza cutter thing. And I was, like, laughing really hard, but I was also very angry. That was the first thing that they showed was, hey, we're not decloning anybody. Which is something we've done for several games in a row now. We're not decloning anybody. Go pre-order the game anyway. Like, nah, man. That's why I really have a strong theory that they're redoing the combat again, because they didn't declone anybody. Historically, they've done that in most of the, like, past several Empires games. They've always decloned a couple characters. 6 is kind of... Technically they did. But at the same time they didn't, because those were just ported from the PS2 version. But if you didn't want to go back and play the PS2 version, which is totally the same thing to do because they fucking backported that game and they put more content in the PS2 version. That was the first time you got to use those movesets, so technically 6 Empires did declone like 6 characters. Depends on how you look at it, but yeah, that's pretty much when that started. Was decloning or adding new characters, and they didn't do either of those things in 9 Empires. Five is a shit game. It's Kusage. Five is a shit game. The only saving grace of 5 is the fact that you can put the game on easy mode and actually combo stuff, and the game actually becomes fun. But it's obviously really stupid design for the easiest difficulty to be the only one that's fun. Instead of doing what good action games do and like actually make some kind of formula so that you can't combo things forever. You know, like Basara. Basara does that. Basara has an actual system in place so that you can't combo things together, but there's actual skill and consistency involved. They just make them walk out of hit stun constantly and at random. So even though there is some fun to be had in that game, you gotta play it on easy, which is just completely stupid game design. It's like they got interns to make that game or something. You know, I'm all for people being able to go through all a game's content on the easiest difficulty. That's something that this game does really well, despite its faults. It does that very well. You can see everything on easy. They don't hold content hostage if you don't have the skill level or don't like the game enough to get good at it, which is definitely something I deal with. I'm known for being good at video games, but I don't want to get good at everything. There's plenty of games where I'm like, you know, I rolled the credits, the game was okay, but I'm not like super enamored with it. I'm done with it at that point. And there's other stuff like, you know, Basara, where I played like a long time and I got good at it over time and I was good enough to educate people on it. But the thing about Samurai Warriors 5 is there's no reason to not play on easy. Because you don't get more drops. The drops are the same on all difficulties. And then, like, things actually stagger on easy mode, so there's no reason to not play on easy. It's just stupid design. I don't really know what they were trying to accomplish with that game. If you're going to do a reboot, then actually give the people working hard to make the game, you know, time to actually finish it. But they don't do that. That's the problem. It's a constant problem with video games. It's just like not giving the people actually making the game time to actually finish it. And like, it's not a reboot. It's a shitty reboot. It's a shitty reboot because it has a bunch of clones. It's not a good reboot at all. It's a terrible reboot. When you make a reboot, you're supposed to have, like, no baggage. You're supposed to have no baggage from the old games. That's the whole point of a reboot. Like, hey, we don't have the baggage of having, you know, 800 characters and movesets and stuff, so we can start fresh. But they didn't do that. They made half of a game. It's just dumb. I like how they give you a lot of they give you a lot of playable characters in that game, like the NPCs. But there's already movesets in that game that like 5 people use. So it's like, I don't want more characters. You didn't bother to make movesets for them, so I don't want more. And the game like rubs itself off over giving you more characters. And I'm like, well, it's the same thing as the other 4 guys that fight like this. I don't care. Even if they do have, some of them did have historical relevance, you're still doing them a disservice by making them like that. They might as well just stay NPCs. They're not worth playing. They're not worth playing at all.
Gruesome sight. Other victims of this forsaken place. These must be the old woman's children. I've avenged your children. Now, do as you promised. Tell me what you know of the past.
The past is meaningless.
No, it won't be the death of Koei. That's doomsaying. If Dynasty Warriors 10 fails, the only thing that will happen is that they'll just stop making mainline games. I guarantee you they're working on stuff for the Switch too right now, because all the Musou games they did for the Switch sold extremely well. That's all that's gonna happen. It's doomsaying a little bit to say that they're going to stop making Musou games. They won't stop making them. They're just going to stop. They're going to stop doing mainline games. which is a very real possibility given what's happened lately. Just putting out stuff that's worse than games that came out a long time ago. We'll see a lot more Zelda Warriors and Fire Emblem Warriors. They'll churn those out, but they'll stop doing mainline. So if you're like me and you just mostly just play for the gameplay and the story and stuff is a very distant second, I don't think it'll matter that much. But they've made stupid decisions. They fucked up all their main franchises. Orochi is a cash cow. They can't make any more of those. They can't make any more Orochi games because Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors are all messed up now. I've had people say that the new Basara is coming. I'm like, I strongly disbelieve that. I don't think there's a new Basara coming. They can't go a year without making a Resident Evil game, so I'm sure they're working on Resident Evil 9 right now. No, it's definitely in danger. Definitely in danger. Because the Nintendo ones do, like, really good. And don't have the baggage of 120 movesets or characters. Oh, man, that was close. Oh good, I hope they show gameplay. Don't show me a CG movie, please. If that's all you've got to show, then don't tell me about the game. Period. I'm not getting any younger, man. I'm tired of that shit. You can't get excited for a game anymore because they like to troll you with no gameplay. And they do that with Mortal Kombat 1. They announced it and it was just a CG trailer. And then they made you wait like a month for gameplay. No, I wasn't excited for Mortal Kombat 1, but I definitely feel for the people that were, because they basically just test your patience doing stuff like that. If it's not ready to show, then don't show it. Aw, man, that was close. These are fun challenges, even though I'm going to get total jack shit for doing this. Still fun. At least. Ah! He jumps too far when I push the button. Well, you know how they are. You know how Omega Force is. When they get called out for bad gameplay or something that doesn't work the way it should, they just go back to scratch. Hey, you remember the press conference they did for Dynasty Warriors 7? You remember that? They were like they got like legit applause, if I remember correctly, for bringing the charge system back. They brought that back, and people were like applauding. People were very happy. People just like to deny that that game 6 had any good qualities. It had a lot of good qualities. It just needed to be refined. But they went back to the charge system. They had to do everything from scratch again. That's all you get for doing that, by the way. Legit mega hard platforming puzzle. You just get more health, even though there's nothing left to do. I feel bad for the level designers, because they're obviously very talented, but nobody told them, like, There's no point in getting any of this stuff. Outside of the fun of overcoming the challenges, it's pointless. One day we're gonna get a Metroidvania where all the shit that you collect actually means something. It isn't just there for filler. This game gets close, but having no New Game Plus makes it kind of, you know, if you like the game, if you like it enough to keep playing, it's nice to run around and do stuff, but this game asks a lot from you from the platforming, and you consistently get garbage for doing it. I couldn't fault anybody for, like, uninstalling after they beat the game. People will do the most frustrating, boring stuff in video games if they're told that they can carry it over. But this game commits the sin of not letting you do that. It's a shame. Could say the same for Spider-Man 2 as well. That game is the same thing. Like, oh, we'll add the New Game Plus later. I'm like, why do you not have it at launch? That's like basic functionality for games where there's a lot of grinding and collecting stuff. It's like something you just expect to be there, but now they make you wait months for it. Like, oh, we'll add it later, maybe. Alright, well, the game gets uninstalled until you put it in.
I won't let any more. Our goal is the same.
Okay, so they legit give you a devil trigger at the end of the game when there's nothing left to fight. Alright. Thanks, I guess. Thanks, I guess. I'm not sure if that's what I really wanted, but I appreciate the thought, video game. This game's gonna be so sick with mods, though. Like a New Game Plus mod or like a roguelike mode. This game would be even better. Yeah, this is kind of just doing something for nothing. Berserk only has one playable character? Yeah, basically. They made one full moveset. The story mode in that game was torture. No, Ken's Rage 2 is shit. Don't play that game. Ken's Rage 2 is shit. That game was outsourced, I think. I never played it myself. I played the demo and it was terrible, so I never bought it. Let's try out this new thing and then I'll go play something else.
Good to see.
There's Arslan right there. Arslan Muso's right there. Oh. Oh, the problem with Arslan is that it kind of sucks as a story game. It's a bad tie-in game because it has it just has no ending. And then also when it came out, nobody could run it. Arslan and Spirit of Sanada have like the worst Muso ports. People thought Dynasty Warriors 9 was bad. They haven't seen Arslan. Arslan is really bad. Spirit of Sanada is really bad as well. That's like why they don't put those two games on sale. Because they know that their support inbox is just going to be inundated with people asking why it doesn't work. Which, I mean, is a good question. But, yeah, you need a pretty good computer to play both of those games, even though they've been out for like 8 years now. The PS4 version of Arslan runs terribly. I beat that game when it came out. When I bought it at Best Buy on sale. But yeah, that game is a technical disaster. But yeah, Arslan is fun. But yeah, did you know they like haven't put Spirit of Sanada on sale for like years? Because they know that they haven't fixed the port. The Spirit of Sanada and Arslan are the worst PC ports for Muso games. By a rather large margin. They're really bad. Yeah, but Arslan has like no ending. It has like no ending. The final boss just rage quits and leaves. And then the game just ends. Because it was based on an anime. It was based on an anime that didn't finish the story. So I feel like the developers kind of got screwed over, honestly. But yeah. It ends on a cliffhanger. Because the anime did. Like, it's one of those games you regret watching the cutscenes. It just ends with the guy with the mask. I don't remember what his name was. You beat him in a fight, and then he just rage quits, and then you get like a 2-minute animated ending. It's like not even fulfilling at all. And the story only takes like 6 hours to finish. And pretty much all the endgame content is DLC. The base game of Arslan is like a really shit value. At least for what they were charging for it when it came out. I mean, you can get that game for like $10 now and then just turn the savings into the DLC. Admittedly, but when it came out, it was a rip-off. It's a bad deal. You could do a lot better than that game. Yeah, you pretty much required to buy the DLC. It's not something that you can skip. You're forced to get the DLC.
は敵じゃありません。終的陣形。終的陣形。終的陣形。
Yeah, from my understanding, the Arslan game got really screwed over by the anime because the anime didn't really have an ending either. They rage quit on animating the rest of it. So I think the game got a lot of flack for that, and it wasn't Koei Tecmo's fault. Just like these games, people complain about the made-up endings. It's like, well, it's not Omega Force's fault that One Piece is going to go on for another 80 years. It's not their fault. It's a Musou game. There has to be some kind of final boss. But people complain that they make up the endings. I'm like, well, make the guy finish his series quicker. It's not Koei Tecmo's fault. They basically have had to make up endings for all of these games. Yeah, Arslan is it's like that for a different reason. It's like a really old series, but it's one of those pointless animes where they only do like some of the story and they just don't do the rest. So it's like a waste of time to watch it. At least One Piece will end someday. I don't think they ever came back, though. That's the thing. They did the thing where your dad goes out for milk and never comes back. That's what they did. So I think the game got a lot of flack for that. It's not the fault of the developers. Tell them to not animate something if they're not going to finish it. I don't know, with these like anime Musou games, they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. If they make up an ending, people complain. And if they wait for the ending to actually make the game, then people complain as well. Which is what's happening with this game. The only reason this game gets any DLC is because of, because there's no other game to put this stuff in. Besides the gachas. It's the only console game that they can put this stuff in. One Piece Odyssey is a turn-based RPG, so they know that putting the new characters in that would not work very well. It probably wouldn't sell much. But One Piece has glacial pacing. It's like got like 1,100 episodes now. They can't make another one of these. There's not enough content. From what I understand from people that follow me that actually watch One Piece or read it, which I don't, this game is almost 4 years old. There's still not enough content for a new game, which is why they're putting characters in this that would, like, really sell a sequel. People are like, oh, they're gonna make another one soon. I'm like, they wouldn't put Luffy's new form in this, which was, like, a big deal for him to get a new form, from what I understand. They wouldn't put it in this old game, if they were planning on making a new one. Because that'd be, like, one of the easiest ways to get people to buy it. But, One Piece just never ends, so... This dead game got, revived. Went back to its zombified corpse and brought it back. Got a necromancer to make some more DLC. This game getting a third season pass? Yeah, it's probably likely. If they have more forms to advertise. I mean, that's how Dragon Ball games were. Dragon Ball games before we got the series over here in America and Canada was very much like this. There's a turn-based RPG for Dragon Ball Z that goes up to the Vegeta and Nappa fight and then stops. Because when they made the game, that's all there was. It's just rarer these days, but yeah, Dragon Ball games were very much like that for a long time. It's just by the time that we got the series, GT was starting like right when we got the series over here. That was like 96, 97. So by that point, they were, you know, they were just making ones that had all the characters and the story and everything. But yeah, Dragon Ball games were like that for a good several years. Dragon Ball just got a resurgence in video games because of the dub, when they brought the dub over here. They weren't quite dying out, but the dub definitely was weird because we got the Japanese developers started making more Dragon Ball games, and then Funimation was cheap, and they would get people that didn't know what the fuck they were doing. So we got like Legacy of Goku and Dragon Ball Z Sagas, Taiketsu. Those games are shit. It was kind of awkward. I was already like 10 when they started airing Dragon Ball over here, but it probably was really difficult for kids to understand why the games had such a massive inconsistent quality. It's because the ones that they made here in America were shit. Well, until Legacy of Goku 2 and Boo's Fury, like those games are above average. They're actually not that bad, but it was, you know, you got like the Budokai games and then Dragon Ball Z Sagas and Dragon Ball Taiketsu coming out around the same time. And it's like a night and day difference in quality. Who remembers Dragon Ball Taiketsu? That's like one of the worst fighting games I've ever played. But Atari really got a lot of mileage out of that studio. They got like 5 games out of them? They did the Legacy of Goku trilogy, and then they did Taiketsu, and then they did Transformation. And the only 2 good games is Goku 2 and Boo's Fury. And then you had like shit like Budokai 3 coming out around the same time as Sagas. There probably were a lot of kids that got stuck with Sagas instead of Budokai 3. Because their parents didn't know any better. Can't really expect them to know any better, though. I don't know, licensed games are kind of dead right now. There used to be a lot more of them, but now games cost so much to make. The shitty licensed games, I mean, it's pretty much outright games. They make a lot of really shitty licensed games, like the Jumanji games and stuff. They're all terrible. Game Mill as well. The Cobra Kai games are really bad. They published that new King Kong game recently too. They're keeping the bad kids games alive. I thought that those were gone for good, but they're keeping that shit alive. Have you seen that King Kong game? It looks like a bargain bin PS2 game, like the quality. Like the kind of PS2 game you would find at like a electronics store. It's just in this big bin, and they're all like $10. And there's like no good games in there at all. That's what that game looks like. It would have been bad like 25 years ago. It's not even bad by today's standards, which are like a lot higher than what they were back then. It would have been bad then. Yeah, Game Mill puts out a lot of really shitty games. They get like the worst no-name developers and they crack the whip and force them to put it out really quick. And then they all get panned and memed online, and then all that happens is they make money anyway. As people buy it for the memes. And then parents buy it because it's cheap. Just get like a cheap Switch game for their kids. Because pretty much all the good Nintendo games are always $60. That's pretty much their whole business model. It's just putting cheap garbage on the shelves. Which is exactly what they did when I was a kid. Growing up in the late 80s, early 90s. They did the exact same thing. It doesn't matter who you get to make it, as long as the game for the movie is out by the time the movie is in theaters. That's all that matters. And then you get excited for it, and you get your parents to buy it, and it's a piece of shit. And you don't get another game for 6 months. That's the experience I grew up with. Growing up in the golden era of video games. Alright, let's see how I feel like doing next. I'm going to stick around until DMC Person of Color resets. So another 45 minutes, I guess. Let's see, what do I feel like playing? No, I don't have that installed right now. I don't have that installed right now. One of the reasons I have the donation link is I think my C drive is faulty, and the read and write speeds have dropped. So I've only got one NVMe in here, and it's full of games because games are so big now. That's one of the reasons why I have that pinned message. There's a very real possibility I might have to replace my drive and reinstall Windows, unless I can find a way to fix it. But yeah, writing anything to the drive takes an extremely long time. So I've had to uninstall some stuff I don't normally play. I don't play regularly because I just don't have the space right now. That's one of the reasons why that's there. It's mostly for equipment, general survival as well, but equipment for sure. I've been trying to fix it, and it seems like I might just have to buy another one and get somebody to move everything over, which is going to take forever and cost me money. That's why the donation link is there. It's actually really limiting what I can do with the channel right now. I have those games installed on my Steam Deck, but I'm not hooking up the capture card right now. Oh, wait, hold on.
みんなの居場所は俺が守る。俺はみんなの笑顔を。変身。はあ。絶対にみんなの未来守ってみせる。さあ来い。一緒に行きますよ。俺の強さは本物だから。一緒に行きますよ。俺たちが期待だ。俺も手を貸します。じいちゃんのクラブに戦うって決めたんだ。
Yes. This is Kamen Rider Bat War Genesis. Very underrated Musou game. One of my favorites. See ya! I love the character models in this game. Like Vize's model is really good. Pretty much all the models are really good. like Black RX.
この俺が許さん。
許さん。
仮面ライダーブラックが相手だ。
俺は生きとし生けるものっす。
Stronger. Sa, showtime.
さあ、ショータイムだ。
たっぷり食わせてもらうぜ。
頑張れよ。
お前たち。
笑う。たっぷり食わせてもらうぜ。俺に任せて。早く本気で出してください。やらの力はこんなものですか。俺に任せて。お待たせ。俺も仲間にいる。
Yes! 止めろ。
俺に任せて。俺も仲間に。お待たせ。お待たせ。俺も仲間に入れてよ。俺に任せて。
お姉ちゃんに褒めてもらえるかな。
さあ、メインディッシュだ。
Regarding what you said about a one and done game, that's basically what this game is. Because these games, this is a trilogy of games. This is the final game in the series, and the first two games had the same problem that the One Piece Musou games do. Not so much in story, because the story in this is kind of just fan fiction. It's all the characters from the various seasons just come together. But the thing about Kamen Rider is there's like a bunch of different forms and stuff, and the one that they use to promote the latest season that's airing, like, the developers probably only had like maybe a couple episodes to watch, so they always really suck to play. Now this one, there was like a 3-year gap between the games, so they went back and they fixed up a lot of those older riders from previous seasons, and then the ones that aired in between, they have like their full kit and stuff. But yeah, these games are kind of like that too, in a way. They make them to be like a tie-in with the currently airing season, but then because this Kamen Rider is on every week, and it only takes like a hiatus like a couple times a year, when they try to promote the current airing season, which at the time of this game's release is the orange guy on the left, he sucks to play because, like I said, they probably had like no source material to work with at all. But then like all the other characters are really fun. But yeah, the guy on the left, his season was like just starting when they made this game, so they probably gave him a couple fight scenes, and that's all they had to work with. These games are kind of different from the One Piece Musou, but it's also kind of the same problem. The currently airing season definitely suffered from what One Piece did. You know, their powers and stuff, they don't have them, because when they're making the game, it's, you know, it hasn't happened yet, or they don't have enough time. I wish that they would make another one of these, but it doesn't seem like they're going to. I think this is one of the best Musou games that people haven't played. It's really solid. And now there's no excuse, because I commissioned a mod for this last year to uncap the frame rates. So that was one of the worst things about this game, is no longer an issue. This game was locked at 30 FPS, even on PS4, so it felt really bad to play. There's actually some pretty technical stuff you can do in this game, but it definitely depends on which character you're using. But the frame rate really made it hard to do that, so you ended up with a lot of characters that weren't really fun. That fighting stance, what a king. Yusuke Godai. Doria. Go Henshin! Beautiful. What other game can you ride or kick people? Not many. Well, Basara counts. You can do it in Basara. This game was a lot of fun, especially if you watch some Kamen Rider. Just a lot of fan service. It's one of my favorite Musou games that a lot of people haven't played. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and take a break. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take my meds and probably go to bed early. I might come back in a little bit. About to see what the DMC situation is. But yeah, if you're interested in that game, go ahead and post it. You can find it online. There's a 60 FPS patch for it, so that I paid for. I paid for it to be made, so if you want to check that out, go ahead. It's on my channel. I'm gonna go ahead and take a break. I'll probably come back later. See ya.